Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
The biggest tip-off to an amateur production is bad audio.
And we're going to help you get past that problem today on The Two Real Guys.
Hi, I'm Norman Hollyn.
And I'm Larry Jordan. One of the most heartbreaking emails that I get, and way too often, is someone writes, generally a youngster, who says, I've spent the last several years working on my production. I'm all set to send it off to the festivals. All I have to do is to remove the echoes.
Oh, God. That's not too easy, is it?
No, the only answer is you're stuck. You have to go back and re-record the audio because you can't remove echoes once they're recorded.
There was a problem in production. That created a post-production problem.
One of the things I've learned is the best way to improve the quality of your picture is to improve the quality of your audio.
In fact, ask anybody who's at Sundance Film Festival or any of the big film festivals around, and they'll say that the biggest determining factor to having a film that doesn't look professional is having unprofessional sound.
Yeah, you got to remember that the camera mic is not your friend.
Now, why is that?
It's too far away, and it records way too much room tone, room noise, and echoes. If you record everything with the camera mic, you may understand what's going on, but nobody else understands what's going on.
So then you're not really going to be getting the dialogue and the story in the way that you need to.
I mean, look at how much emotion is conveyed in the voice. It's not just the words you say, but the pauses and the breathing. A breath can say, I'm terrified, or I'm feeling really good. There's a ton of emotion that you've got to have good, clean audio to be able to pick up.
So how do we get that audio?
It's easier to degrade the quality of the audio in post. So what you want to do is on set, record the audio as clean as possible. So every possible word that can be recorded is. Because you can always munge it up later. But if you don't record it clean, there's nothing you can do later that's going to fix it.
So how do we get that audio?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Here are some ideas that you can use in your own productions to improve the quality of your sound. Probably the most important rule is to assign someone the responsibility of recording and monitoring good sound.
The second rule is equally important. Make sure to record all of your audio so the levels never, ever exceed 0.
Oh boy, true.
Audio that is too loud is distorted. And just like echo, once you've got distortion in there, you can't get it out.
Where possible, record each actor to their own audio channel. This simplifies editing later by separating their voices.
Always record audio, even if you don't plan to use it.
Always record your audio clean without any effects on set. It's very easy to add effects later in editing, and even better, if you change your mind, you have clean audio to go back to.
That's a good one. I got one. If you have more actors than you've got mics, select who to mic based on the story. That is, again, the more important actor gets a mic, other actors can be picked up on a boom.
Now, we've used the term mic, but there's lots of different mics to select from, and sometimes it's hard to decide which one to use. So I put together a collection of 4 different microphones to illustrate common types. For instance, this is a lavalier. They come in lots of different shapes and sizes, but they're all small, and they're all designed to attach to the clothing. And that way the microphone goes wherever the actor goes. The benefit to a lavalier is it's small and can be hidden in clothing. The disadvantage to a lavalier is that sometimes you get clothing rustle, and sometimes you don't want that kind of a tight sound. So the second option is a hand mic. Hand mics, which I love this one, hand mics are perfect for people who are singing or where you don't care about the fact that you can see the microphone. However, if you're doing a romantic love scene, having everybody holding a hand mic is perhaps counterintuitive to the romance that's being seen.
Unless it's a love scene about microphones.
Or a love scene, people singing to each other. But generally you'll use hand mics. You'll use hand mics when you're doing music, but not when you're doing drama. A much better choice is this. This is called a short shotgun. A short shotgun is about 6 inches long, and it has a pickup pattern which is kind of narrow. It goes out about like this, about 5.5 degrees on either side of the front of the microphone.
So when would you use that?
Well, what you do is you get about 2.5 feet away from the person that's speaking, and you point like you're pointing a gun. by rejecting noise around the microphone. You just pick up the sound of the person's voice. This is really useful if you've got someone that's wearing a lot of jewelry that's clacking and clanking. It would kill a lavalier. But by having all of that clicking and clanking back in sound, you're going to be able to hear much better sound by picking it up with a shotgun. The advantage to a shotgun is it gives you really good audio. The disadvantage is you have to have someone who runs it because it's got to be pointed.
So if you don't have a budget for lots of sound people, you might not want to use that one.
Right. Again, a lavalier would be a much better choice because you can attach it to the talent and you just have somebody listening to the results. And as long as they're not wearing clangy jewelry, you'll be fine. Now, another option is this one. This is called a long shotgun. It's longer. It's anywhere from 8 inches to as long as 14 or 15 inches. Has a much narrower pickup pattern. It's maybe 1 to 3 degrees, so that it's designed to get farther back from the talent and still point to them and reject noise around it. This is useful in a very noisy environment or when you're shooting a wide shot, but you have to have lots of good audio. This would hang from a boom from the ceiling and come in over the top of your talent. You'll use these in stage productions where they're attached to devices called booms that come in over the top of the set. For general purposes, a hand mic is perfect for music, a lavalier when you don't have a lot of extra hands to run the mic, and a short shotgun when you want really good quality and not the risk of clothing rustle or banging.
Wow, a lot of choices there.
There are a lot of choices, but the goal is to get good audio. And there's no one perfect technical solution that provides really, really good audio.
And one thing that we do know is the best way to get a better picture is to get better sound.
Oh boy, you can say that again.
The best way to get better picture, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
is to make your sound great.
Right.
We'll be back with a tip right after this.
When you've got a scene with your actors in the middle of a crowd, have your extras mime their conversations and your leads talk a little louder than normal. That way you can add the background conversations later on in post-production and your lead actors will seem to be talking over their noise. So it's important to remember that audio makes all the difference. I'm Norman Hollyn.
And I'm Larry Jordan, and thanks for watching
The Two Real Guys.